evening and welcome to our 9 p.m. English news brought to you live by RTD. My name is Anna Farah. Djibouti, China. The General of the Army to visit the Chinese hospital ship. Somalia. U.S. Somali Army joined operation to fight Al-Shabaab. And now the national news. The General of the Army Corps, Secretary Sheikh Ibrahim, head of the State Major General of the Army Force, went this morning on the hospital ship Chinese Ark of Peace on the invitation of the Vice Admiral Guyan. General Secretary Sheikh Ibrahim was welcomed by the delegation of the State Major of the Army, as well as the Vice Admiral Guyan Penleng, Chief of the Humanitarian Mission of China, the Attaché of Chinese Defense in Djibouti, the Upper Colonel Chin, as well as many Chinese defense. General Secretary Sheikh Ibrahim was then reviewed the Chinese troop, which has welcomed on the bridge of the ship with all honors. The two parties are then found in the meeting room of the hospital Ark of Peace. The Vice Admiral Guyan has thanked the General Secretary for his coming on the ship. He then assisted the brief presentation, the ship and the history of his achievement since his commission in 2008. And it is the second time that the ship hospital Ark of Peace is in Djibouti. At the end of this contact, General Secretary and officer of the state of Djibouti has visited the different installations of the ship. They have in turn visited the consultation rooms and the operation rooms that accounts the ship, the city rooms and other facilities, which allows the ship hospital to provide care of high quality. On the bridge of the ship, General Secretary has also visited the health helicopter laid down for the evacuation of the emergency. At the end of his visit, the head of the state, Major General Secretary Sheikh Ibrahim, signed the book of the ship of Ark of Peace. In the framework of International Youth Day is celebrated every year in the month of August. The Yali Club and the Town Hall of the city of Djibouti have wanted to celebrate this day with the signing of a partnership in the area such environment with the implementation of the trees on the artery of the city, the capital, but also in education with granting of books inside the municipal library. In effect, these days of yesterday saw the participation of the mayor of the city of Djibouti, Fadma Awali, the president of the commune of Pulaus, as well as the president of the Yali Club. The president of Yali Club has indicated that this day is part of the framework to the celebration of International Day of the Youth. It is in this context that a lot of pot of the chef planting in the arteries of the capital has been granted to the mayor of the city. This act is intended to combat deficiency and thus giving a beautiful image on the capital. In the framework of the arrival in Djibouti from the Chinese ship Ark of Peace, who was made a stopover in Djibouti in the day of Tuesday, 24 August 2017, the president of the commune of Balbala, Waberenor Eleye has making an opportunity to meet the admiral of the hospital ship in his cabinet. During this interview, the president of the commune and the admiral have discussed on the opportunities of the service and medical cares that are offering to the local population of Balbala, in particular the village of Dorale and of the Warabale. An afternoon full of emotion. Yesterday, the Ethiopian community who participated in a ceremony of remembrance of the deceased Mala Zenawi at the Ethiopian club in Djibouti, the remembrance of the 5th anniversary of the death of the former Ethiopian Prime Minister Mala Zenawi, who died in August 2012. The Ethiopian community living in Djibouti has participated in the ceremony. The ambassador of Ethiopia in Djibouti, His Excellency Shamombo Fitamo Abedo, a giant poster of former Ethiopian Prime Minister, was displayed in the hall of the ceremony, and projection video on the biography, the beginning of his career, have been diffused to participants. This image of the funeral of Mala Zenawi in Addis Ababa with a tribute rendered by African leaders and the world have been followed with the emission by the assistant. The Ethiopian ambassador has announced that Malas was a large Ethiopian leader who made the promotion of the unity, economy and social policy of Ethiopia, which has been the 5th between 1995 and 2012. He also was the pioneer of the Ethiopian constitution, which recognized the right of the various people who make up the federal Ethiopian constitution of several nations and nationalities. After the ceremony, the remembrance of the deceased Mala Zenawi, organized with the participation of Ethiopian community living in Djibouti. In a speech on this occasion, the ambassador of Ethiopia in Djibouti, Mr. Shamebo Fitamo Abedo, put in a plain word with the balance sheet of the deceased Mala Zenawi, recognizing a charismatic leader for the Ethiopian people, a defense and a visionary for Africa. Listen to this, to the ambassador, please.
Djibouti, and at the same time commemorate the legacy of Meles. Meles is great leader, great Ethiopian African leader. His legacy and his vision, and to forward the all economic and socio-economic projects he has drafted with his nice policy framework. So this is to recognize him and to motivate what has been done and what will be done in the future for the young generation. This is why we are organizing this session, this memorial session. He created the foreign and security policy that is keeping the integrity and the prestige of the country, and at the same time his connection to the neighbors to be smoothly, to grow together, and to harmonize his policy with the development of other nations. For also his coordinates his effort with the effort of other nations like Djibouti, Sudan, and at the same time he is the one that is fighting for peacekeeping efforts in Africa.
The Association Djibouti Nature has organized in Chechora a reflection workshop on the harm of invasive plant, referring to a prosopis, on the action to be taken to combat the expansion of this species harmful to the environment and community life at the Regional Council of Chechora. The workshop saw the participation of the representatives of research institutes in 6 countries of the Horn of Africa, to know Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, Sudan, and South Sudan. Proposes is a plant that is harmful to biodiversity. This plant accentuates the risk of desertification. The workshop has also saw the participation of the President of the Council of Chechora and the Deputy Prefect Habib Chilani and the Deputy Director of the Agriculture in Chechora, Mr. Abdullah Burhan.
other tree can grow nearby or far away. But we look forward with this great expert coming from the world, maybe neighbor country also will come, to recommend us, to say it is good for us or not. If it is not good, how to fight it? If is it good for us, how to manage, how to work it, how to get benefits from this tree.
In the framework of this program for the promotion, protection of human rights, Salam, the management community, Hayable community has organized yesterday afternoon a ceremony to raise awareness on the right of the child. This ceremony is organized in close cooperation with the National Union of Djibouti Women and the UNICEF. The ceremony is initiated to assert the young people the right as to obtain the national identity card or the refusal of exemption for young girls or even fight against drugs. The ceremony saw the participation of several women of the community, Ifrah Roble, Shukri Abdi, and the youngest of Balbala, more specifically Hayable. In this period, an awareness will be paramount importance because of this summer, and the young people have much more time to spend in the places of meetings such as the CDC. Once is not custom. Despite a hard wave with descent on the region, the community of Dala'af has not spared the idea to write even more in the history to respond to the most beautiful ways to rendezvous for the summer. The team competing in this tournament has clashes for 2 days on 5 different disciplines, which are football, athletic, volleyball, swimming, and patak. For the football, the organization team of the tournament of Dala'af has beaten the White City of Tachora on a score of 2-1, and the IT is Scarlet Sin champion on the second edition. For the swimming, the first and second place has been assured by the young hopes of Dala'af, while Tachora is merely on the third place. In athletics, Dala'af has not made a gift to its visitor in winning in the passage of all the medals. The prefect of the region of Obok, Mr. Hassan Dabali, has put the emphasis on the importance of this tournament and the sport in general for the young of the region exposed to the delinquents and drugs. He also recalled but its geographical position, the role that is played on the local of Dala'af between the two region sisters. He thanks the Secretary of the State for Youth and Sport for having not only sponsored the tournament but its support, and for all considerable effort in order to promote and develop the sport in general and particularly the region sport. When Nasra Haji Hussein has left her house 2 years ago in search of a job to the capital of Mogadishu, working as a mechanic was not amongst those patients that she had in mind. This young girl, age of 18, comes from the region of Hiran, located approximately 300 kilometers from the capital of Somalia. After a perilous journey of 10 days, Nasra is arrived in Mogadishu in close relative to find this mark. Spending several months in order to find a job, she is finally approached from mechanic service garage when it was engaged as an apprentice. Nasra has been discouraged by money, but over time she had managed to make a regular customer in a country where jobs are scarce. I repair different types of car, luxury car, van, sometimes I deal with trucks, she said. When she had brought it to the garage for many young people like me, obtain solid education, even find a job is difficult with the economy challenge and the security which my country continues to face when we are rebuilding a nation, declared Nasra.
at the service garage where she found an opportunity to serve as an apprentice. Nasra has been ridiculed and discouraged by many, but she says over time she has managed to rebuild a regular customer base in a country where jobs are scarce. For many youth, getting a solid education or even finding a job is difficult with the economic and security challenges Somalia continues to face as the country rebuilds. Working in what is traditionally seen as a male domain, Nasra says at first she was ridiculed and chided for taking up the job, but over time she has begun to win customers. By challenging gender stereotypes in a country with limited opportunities, Nasra has been able to acquire new skills and build a career. At the same time, she has improved her family life.
Let's move on to Somalia now, where the army and the youth military office are investigating the result of an operation conducted in South Somalia early Friday, amid confusion about whether the attack killed civilians or Al-Shabaab militants. Saeed Mohammed has more detail in this report.
Somali forces supported by U.S. troops shot dead 10 Somalis in a village near the capital Mogadishu. The involvement of U.S. troops was confirmed by U.S. Africa Command, which said it was investigating reports of civilian casualties. The Somali army initially said no civilians were killed and all the dead were members of the Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab militia, which is fighting to overthrow the weak UN-backed government and impose strict Islamic law. The incident is likely to provoke questions in Washington about the growing U.S. footprint in the Horn of Africa nation, which has been torn apart by civil war since 1991.
In the northern of the African continent, in Egypt now, promoting physical education for babies and teaching how to swim along with their parents is initiative of Mohammed Abdul Masoud, one of its kind experience. Let us watch this video together, please.
In Egypt's capital, Cairo, parents arrive with their babies for novel classes in swimming. The classes are aimed to promote physical education for babies while teaching parents how to handle their children in water. The initiative was started in July by instructor Mohammed Abdul Masoud, who spoke about the other benefit of the program. If we hold the baby's arms using the wrong method, he or she might develop a chronic health condition which might cause the babies to suffer for the rest of his or her life. Our training also helped remove any of the physical side effects the babies might experience shortly after birth, he said. Training can begin for babies as young as 2 months old, who are initially put into swimming pool to familiarize them with water. The exercises help improve overall fitness and quality of sleep. Speaking after taking her child through the day's lesson, Hiba Hilal said, honestly, it has helped tone his muscle. At the beginning, his body was very stiff and his legs were always close to his chest. But now he has no trouble stretching his legs and he is no longer afraid of the water.
That is all for this evening news. Thank you for watching us and have a wonderful evening.